Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. And today I'm going to do a video that I've been thinking about for a long time. And it is a video that might have a little controversy with it, but that's okay because I love the debate. I love when there's discussion and talk around a topic. And again, this is something I've thought about for a long time, and it is my top 10 favorite sports card collections on YouTube. You might say, well, Mike, aren't all collections on YouTube awesome? And the answer is yes, they are. No doubt. I mean, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of channels that I am subscribed to that I enjoy things that people pick up. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of pick my top 10 favorite collections because by doing this, I think that there are a lot of people out there that are new to the hobby and they may not know about these channels, and to go and watch what they have and see their old videos. And I think we're very much in our world in the now, like, what are you showing me today? Very rarely do I hear people going back and watching old videos, either of mine or anyone else's for that matter. It's like we only see what's in our feed, and by the time it's a couple days old, it's gone and forgotten. And I would encourage you on these channels and other channels that I mention, and just go back and look at all the stuff they have because it will blow you away. And again, there's a lot of guys on here that I'm leaving off that have amazing stuff, no doubt. So it's not meant to be exclusive. It's just meant to say, hey, here are some collections that if you want to see really badass stuff and just amazing stuff, go check these guys out for sure. Yeah, go look at their archives. And I'm saying these are my top 10 favorite collections, which implies that these people, by and large, are collectors, right? They think PC, they think personal collection, they think these are the things that I love and I keep them forever. Certainly, there are some of them out there that do sell cards to fuel their collection and whatnot. I'm not saying they keep every single item forever, but these are people that by and large are collectors. They're not the flipper. Don't have anybody in here that's a flipper, that buys and sell cards for a living. These are people that are just kind of that collector mindset. The other thing that's important to remember, and I've learned this both in life and in the hobby over the long time that I've been doing this, is not everybody, not all the collections that are out there are on YouTube. In fact, I know some collections that would blow everybody in this on this entire list out of the water, but they're just not on YouTube. A lot of people are very, very private about their collections, and that's understandable, especially if you're talking, you know, the collections that I've seen privately that have they don't even know about YouTube. It's unbelievable what's out there. And my theory to that is there's always somebody with a bigger boat. No matter which 10 I show here, there will be people out there that can show me 10 more with better stuff or whatever. There's always somebody with a bigger boat. And that's just important to remember, that you don't look at this list as something that you have to keep up with or try to compete with or anything like that out there. Just do what you do and love what you love. And we all have budgets, we all have constraints, we all have room constraint, you name it. We all have different things that keep our collections where they are. But I looked at this as, when I was doing it and I was coming up with, I kind of had this, my left nut theory. Like, I would give up my left nut to have these people's collections. And that's not that big a ask, really, because I've had a vasectomy. So my left nut's pretty worthless at this point. But it's the, man, these guys have such amazing stuff. I would love to own the things that they own. And that's not envy or anything, it's admiration. It is an acknowledgement of the accomplishment that they have worked really hard and been able to add these things to their collection. And good for them. That's the only thing I think. It's wow, that is awesome for you that you have this stuff in your collection. So if you disagree with me, if you're watching this and you just go, this guy's full of it, well, you might think that anyway. But if you really go, man, he forgot this person or that person or whatever, man, do your own video. do your own top 10 of your favorite collections on YouTube. I would love to see it personally. I'd love to see and maybe discover and be reminded of other amazing collections that are out there. That's kind of what the point of this is. And so, do your own video. Tell me what I've missed. I would love to hear it. Help me discover new things. And again, I freely admit that I might be overlooking some channels that are out there. That's no question. No top 10 list is completely perfect by any stretch. And certainly this one, I'm not saying it's perfect. These are my favorites. This is my opinion. And so I'm putting it out there. Hopefully you guys can discover something new. I'm going to try to do this where I show the channels through StreamYard here, but no perfect. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. It may be a little technologically challenged here, but I'm going to try. There's 2 honorable mentions I want to give because it was really hard to these guys. I'm like leaving off several people that I'm going, man, their stuff is awesome too. But Rated Rookie Josh, if you don't watch Josh's channel, Rated Rookie, it's unbelievable. Like go watch his top 50 or top 100 cards that he did. It'll blow your mind. Amazing stuff. Very diverse collection of all sports and very, very awesome. And then Jay Stottlemyre 1, Josh, another Josh, 2 Joshes in my honorable mentions, not intentional, but Jay Stottlemyre 1 is amazing because he just brings fire. Like his collection, I wouldn't say even he would probably admit isn't large, but the cards that he has are freaking nuts. And I love seeing the next thing he picks up. I know whenever he picks up a video or does a video showing a pickup, I literally go, this is going to be amazing. And it is. It never fails to deliver. So those are kind of 2 right outside of this top 10. All right, here we go with the top 10. Not necessarily in any order, with the exception of the top 3. The top 3 are, to me, the best. All the rest of these guys are all very similar, different pros and cons of each of them. So they're not necessarily in any order, just kind of the order that I came to put them on the list, really. And the first one is right here, Nolan Elite Co 3. He does, Nolan's known for doing reveal videos of all these giant PSA and SGC submissions that he sends off and the stuff he gets back, a lot of which he ends up selling. But Nolan's collection, I think, is sneaky good, like sneaky bonkers. Just go look if he does a reveal video, it's like, I think that's staying in the PC, or I think that's staying in the PC. And it's stuff that's just unbelievable. I would love to go just peruse Nolan's personal collection. And, again, he gives hints of it on videos. He's been doing YouTube forever. So go back and watch maybe his top personal collection videos. I think he has a couple of them on his channel. You can check those out. Next up, I'm going to share. I'm just going to do this as best I can here, going through these. The next one is this one, New York Yanks Fan 7. And this is a guy that, first of all, I don't even know his first name. Like, he's been on YouTube forever, watched him forever. He watches my stuff, I think, every once in a while. But his collection is insane. He does his Friday Night Vintage where he just shows off fire all the time. His graded card videos, where what he has in his storage cases is just insane. So his stuff is pretty incredible, and he does comics, and I mean, just an amazing collection for New York Yanks Fan 7. All right, the next one I'm going to do is an ode to the player collectors out there. I'm a recovering player collector myself. It's always something that I loved doing, was collecting different player collectors or different player collections. And the one I kind of went, okay, if I'm going to pick kind of what I think is like the best one, there's so many great player collectors out there. Nate, Topps 85 401 with Barry Bonds. JT with Miguel Cabrera. But the guy that I go, oh my gosh, he is really over the top, is this guy right here, Wade Boggs fan, John. Go watch just his room tour video or all the stuff that he has, Wade Boggs, and how many times he's met the guy and just all these different things. You're just going, oh my goodness, this guy is absolutely insane. for Wade Boggs, and that passion comes through and all the different pickups that he gets. And he also does beyond just Wade Boggs, which is kind of cool. He's doing some vintage stuff, picking up some cards, things like that. Really, really neat. Love John's collection. Love his passion, and you got to go watch that. Next up is one of my favorite people in the hobby, just because he's so funny and we get along really well. But his collection is insane, and that is Joe, Silver Jackify. Oh my gosh, Joe. His stuff, vintage, modern, you name it, Joe's got it. Multiple sports, the goats, all these different things that Joe does on his channel. He is definitely one of those guys. There's several guys like this where you really should go watch their top 100 cards or 50 cards. That typically happens towards the end of the year. People show that off, and Joe's is always unbelievable. As he gets stuff in, he rips boxes, all kinds of stuff, but his collection is absolutely insane. All right, next up is another good friend of mine for sure. And that wasn't a criteria that I used these people to be friends of mine. I just happen to admire their collection so much that I've wanted to get to know them personally. And I just just because I love the kind of stuff that they show and love the kind of stuff that they collect. So the next guy up is Andrew, Nuff Said Cards. And oh my gosh, this video right here with his top 50 cards, I dang near fell out of my chair several times watching it. Just the amazing things that he has in his collection. He sends stuff off to SGC, to PSA, etc. Just so much awesomeness. And pre-war, which is not really my thing. I love pre-war stuff, but I don't collect it a lot. I have only a few pre-war things, but to see his stuff, I just go, oh my gosh, that's why I don't collect pre-war, because I'll never catch up. And again, not that it's about keeping up with the Joneses, or in this case, keeping up with the Nuff Saids, but you just go, oh my gosh, he's cornered the market on awesome pre-war stuff. And so just great channel, great collection for Andrew there for sure. Next one up is, now I'm getting into another area that, again, if you've watched my channel for a long time, you know how much I love Hall of Fame autographs as a segment of collecting. People call me baseball card collector a lot, and that's just not true. I collect everything baseball, which is why my name's Baseball Collector, autographs and cards. And I got some stuff coming in the mail this week that's going to be kind of crazy, different baseball kind of stuff. I have books and you name it. I love all things baseball, but baseball Hall of Fame autographs are two of my favorite things in the world. And there are two guys on YouTube that are just unbelievably amazing with their Hall of Fame autograph, baseball Hall of Fame autograph. And that's Bill. The first one's Bill, the Hall of Fame collector. And he is that. If you go in his archive and look at him just showing off, he'll do letters of the alphabet and show A to C or whatever. And go back and look at the stuff that this guy has in his collection. It is off the chain amazing. It blows my collection away in a good way. Because when Hall of Fame autograph collectors talk, we say, what's your number? And that's basically saying, how many different Hall of Famers do you have? And I think I'm at 230, 240, something like that. I should know that number off the top of my head. I don't in the moment, but his is like 260, 270, something like that. And that difference doesn't sound like a lot. It's only 20 or 30 or whatever. It's tens and tens of thousands of dollars for the ones that I need to kind of add to my collection to kind of get there. And he's just got some absolutely phenomenal stuff. And he's a great guy too, on top of that. So Bill, but even Bill would say that he is not the top dog on YouTube when it comes to baseball Hall of Fame autographs. And he and I both agree. And I think if you watch this guy's channel at all, you would also agree that it's Frank. I mean, look at just his panel right here for his room or his basement downstairs where he has his displays of his Hall of Fame autograph collection. It is out of this world awesome. And Frank's relatively new to YouTube, but he does great autograph analysis, and you can learn so much by just watching Frank's channel about different baseball Hall of Fame autographs and the old school guys. And it's about the history. It's about having just amazing pieces. And Frank is off the chart. If I'm 240 something and Bill's 260 something, 270, Frank's like 300. And there's only 333 Hall of Famers, period. Frank's as close as I've ever seen anyone. And there are, probably 30 or 40 that are just literally impossible. They just don't exist. Or they're just only a few examples known to exist. And so Frank's about as close as you can get, in my opinion. He may even say there's a couple that he could get, but to go back and just look at him tour his room, and hopefully over time he'll show more and more of his collection as he gets more and more familiar with YouTube. But in terms of collections that I love, in terms of Hall of Fame autographs, this one's it. It's the top of the cream of the crop. Now we're getting to the final three, and I said that all of them are pretty similar up to this point. And then there's three guys that I think really stand out in terms of the quality, the breadth, the amazingness of their collections. And the first one is your good friend and mine, and that's Eric, those back pages. Eric has cards that most of us dream about owning. And Eric is so smart in the way he collects. First of all, he's been doing it forever. And he got on the train of buying cards that now everybody wants to own. He was buying them before everybody wanted to own them. And incredible foresight, incredible collection overall. You've got to just go watch his stuff, and especially his vintage collection is sneaky awesome. He's got so much amazing modern stuff, just different sports, everything. I mean, unbelievable collection that Eric has amassed over his decades and decades of doing this. And that's the theme that these last three guys all have, is they've been doing it forever. People think that amazing collections are accumulated quickly, and that is simply not the case. Amazing collections are accumulated over a long period of time, and finding things that you love and finding things that fit what you love and what you want to collect. And so anybody that watches this, all of these people have been doing it forever. These last three guys, especially, um, it takes a long time. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as we like to say in this whole collecting thing. And it just takes a lot of patience and a lot of time. Number two is another great friend of mine, Dave, Blue Jacket 66. This is the second to last one. And what can you say about Dave's collection other than incredibly thorough, incredibly high end? If Dave's buying a card, it's going to be, it's not a PSA 2 mantle, it's a PSA 8 mantle. And not that owning a PSA 2 mantle is bad. I have a lot of those in my collection. It's just he just gets the best example he can afford, the best example he can find of any given card. And that is just awesome that he can do that. Just so many cool things in his collection. Go back and watch, and so much knowledge you can learn. And I know he's known for food and beverage and his expertise in that, and no doubt he has that, but it's everything that he has is crazy. And there's so much stuff that people, I'm sure, I would just love to go look, because I'm sure there's so much stuff he has never even shown on YouTube that's just out of this world. But even the stuff that he has is pretty incredible. And then I will go with kind of my top pick in terms of my favorite collections to watch, to see. Remember, this is just my opinion. I hope everyone enjoys this, and maybe is even discovering some other people that they've never heard of. But this guy right here, John Mangini, his collection, white gloves. Look, he's wearing the white gloves over here. Let's look at some cards. He's always just showing cards. And every time he shows cards, it's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. Never even knew that existed. All of these things that he shows, not all, I mean, a lot of it, we have all seen examples and whatnot, but he just has it all in one place. in this blacked out room in his house where his collection is so incredibly extensive. He's done a lot of tours of his room, not a lot, several different tours of his collection and where he has stuff. And then he'll just show random things. And you just go, oh my gosh, he has all that too. And all of that. Uh, and he knows so much about it. He's incredibly knowledgeable about the hobby, incredibly knowledgeable about what he has, which I think is great because he doesn't just own it to own it. He doesn't just own it because of some dollar value. In fact, he could care less. He owns raw cards and graded cards, and the companies are all different and not nearly as anal as somebody like myself about some things. And so John's collection is just tops for me in terms of guys that I think have the most amazing collections. My favorite sports card collections on YouTube, John Mangini's number one. So there you go, guys. That is my list. Again, if you want to see, or if you have a different opinion and you want to throw some names out there, more power to you. Put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. Go out and do your own video. I'd love to see that too. But for now, that is my list. Let me know what you think down below. We'll catch you guys soon. Have a great one.